Okay, so now let's continue programming our project. Codium dot great. Now let's go to source server. Is this what we want? Source server, and here Python 3 management migrate run server. Okay, so now let's open it, create a login. Then let's set the password. Database on create DB. I have these options, but I want this to be a little bit more usable. So let's go to get bootstrap and then select. Let's use something like this. So interface, system plate, database create, div. Great. So it will be options for CPUs. So I'm thinking to make something like EC2 and you have a CPU and RAM stuff, but probably this isn't the way to go now. So but first, uh, let me just create something like it's a label. Probably it's just label. Let me create something like this. Class form label, and here CPU vCPUs, and here you have the option of 0.1 vCPU, and this will be selected, but this select will be disabled. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, vCPU, and then RAM, let's put 128 megs. Okay, and then I'm using margin bottom 3, so let's put class MB3 here, and then let's add another one that will be the disk, and here will not be select, will be something like this, input, but the type will be number, and no name. Okay, value 100 megs, disabled. Okay, in okay, so let me just put that's disabled. Field disabled. And these, let's put just right here. I just need the class mb3 mb3. By default, and not possible to change yet. Okay, so this is what we have. I can just change the database name. Great. Now I need to go to views, create, database create. If request.method is post, if not responses, okay, great. Database instance, I need to add some more data here. So models, database instance, we have the owner, the name created at, but we also need to add CPU, RAM, disk. Instance CPU, instance RAM, instance disk. CPU, RAM, and disk will be models dot float. I don't remember the float. I think that's just float. Default 0.1 models dot integer default 128 models dot integer default will be 100. Okay, so I think that I have everything I need. And I also need to type the password here. So let's come here. Let me guess for logging. Interfaces, database create, password. I'm thinking to create a random password and just give to the client. I think that's better. Yeah. Let me add just more one comment here. Password will be auto generated and you be able to see next. Okay. I really don't like to do it. Hmm. Yeah, we can deal with this in another moment. Okay. Now something breaks. Let's ask ChatGPT. Chat.openai.com. Okay, float field, my bad. Models. Probably this will be integer field too. So let's just come back here. Yeah, great. Python manage.py, make migrations, interfaces. Non-nullable password, but this default empty. Migrate. Okay. So now yeah, now we have everything. We just need to write it down. But this is default parameters. So yeah. Let's create this here also. dbi dot instance CPU RAM disk dbi dot password 100 128 0.1, and we're doing this here and here just to make sure that we will not make the wrong thing. Okay, so great. Now the password needs to be randomly generated, so let's just create some things here. Define create random password length okay, so here let's create some alphabet. Okay, yeah, I'll use just letters, uppercase, lowercase, and numbers, but I'll use at least 60 letters. So chars for underline in range of length password chars random import random dot rand int random dot rand integer, and this will be from 0 to range will start from 62 selected, from 0 to 61. Return password. Let's just make sure that this will never overflow if we reduce or add letters here. Great. Just to increase the probability to have a number, let's double it. So we have the double probability to have numbers. Great. So here we will create random password and save. testdb, create. Let me ask something too. Postgres have a max length to password. Hmm. $128. Here. Okay. 8,192. So no problem using a 128 characters. Okay, so our testdb have 128 characters. So whenever I create a database instance, I also need to return the user, the password. So here I'll create a view. So let's just get this, create show password. Okay. The database password is for user postgre is copy Copy it now. You never see this again. Okay. No need to be a form. Div class M4. Okay, great. And button, let me get this button here. Go to databases. Great. So now if I create a new database, no password. Awesome. Python 3. Let me test this. Create random password 128. I do have a password here. Because I don't have this here. DBI. DBI. Okay, so this is the password. Great. Then databases, delete, delete, delete. Now whenever I create a database, I need to create also a series of tasks. So let me create here in models class database instances tasks. Let me just say databases tasks, database task. So models, model, the task will have an ID. Yeah, okay. Basically, no, basically everything, no. On create, I need to bring up. So in all, I need to create a virtual file system. And all this will be create VFS1, and this will be all this code. We can resume this in one code line like this. Create VFS1. then oops, then create, it'll be this. Three will be create disk in the ISO. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, and then create Docker Compose file. This will be a little bit trickier. Yeah, and then start container.sh. Okay, great. So now we have what needs to be done to bring the container up. So we'll have here on our views a series of tasks. Let me just create a new file. Okay, let's just paste this here and just figure out how to create these tasks the right way. So db task 1, db create task 1 will be database task, and this database task need to have the name, owner, you need to have database instance ID, that is a foreign key for database instance. Database instance ID. Okay, so this will get database instance. Then we need to make the task itself. The task will be named like what? Task. Probably none of my codes here will have more than, probably this one will have, I don't know, let's check. Yeah, will have. So let's make sure. Yeah, great. Now the task will have a number, and the task will have let's start with the priority. Models, let's use a number, will be better. Task order, integer field, default 0. And the task dot order. In this case will be here. I don't think that this solution is good enough. I really don't think that it is. I can just create here some field like dbi.status and set as on creation. That will be better, and let's manage how the thing will be created in another place. Status equals character field default on creation. I think that's better, that's the way. Python make migrations interfaces. Let me remove this bunch of stuff from here. Migrate. Okay, so now we have a status field. And we need to create an endpoint here on interfaces to interact with the client. So let's come here on views and let's just paste this somewhere. Docker, bring up, new file, all single line all.sh. That's not all. Yeah, that is all. Okay. So here on views, we need to define and here agent underscore communication request ID. This ID will be just verification stuff. So we also will need a model that will be class agent token, and this will basically be a token for our local agents to communicate with the server. So this basically we need a token that will be models.uuid. Let me just find this on the documentation. Django UUID field. Great. Agent token. No need to be primary key. No need to touch on this. Great. So using UUID, we'll have here UUID. And this agent, I really would like to have it being identifiable. So name equals character field. Default. Okay, so here we want to have two requests, but first we need to check if the communication is being authenticated. So first, if request dot method equals get, now if request dot method equals post, else return wrong method. So here we need to, if request method is get, let me just also token equals database agent token dot objects dot filter UUID equals ID. if token equals token on 0, else return an unauthorized. Okay, great. So if it's authorized and the method is a get, we need to give the client everything that must be done. So database instance dot objects dot filter and status. Let's just ask shot. Django not filter. Done. Status different of done. Objects exclude. Okay. Exclude done. And let's here for yeah, we can just return this and that's okay. And on post we want to receive we want to receive all the stuff, but first let's try to work here. Let's just try to work here. Migrate. I want to return So here I did a small search and got this JSON response. Seems to be better for this purpose. We need to create this data object, but yeah, we just copy this and we'll use JSON response to return the data. So here for database instance in database instances, we need to create, let's get this data dict data, and the index will be, let's see, owner.id together with database instance ID, and this will be the identifier. Okay, so let's work with this. Use, and here will be dbi.owner.id and dbi.id. Great. So here we have two IDs, and these will receive another dict with CPU, RAM, and disk. CPU will get dbi.instance CPU, dbi.instance RAM, and dbi.instance disk. So for each database instance on our database instances, we'll create this, and we will return as a JSON response. So for our reasons, let's test it. Agent communication, let's go to interfaces, URLs, agent communication, great. And here will be a UUID, so UUID generator. Let's generate the UID v4. I want just one copy. The beaver. Let's connect to SQLite. Open home projects server. Okay. Finish. And we have this interface bug again. Work it. So download. Let's see all my tables. Interfaces, agent token, view table, data, ID, name, UUID. So here I want to add, insert into interfaces, values will be localhost and this UUID. This should work. Okay, so I need to give the ID to. Okay, let me see the data. Great. Let me download a Postman here. Okay, now continuing from Postman, we can get this URL. So is http dot slash slash localhost. The port is, yes, this one, agent communication, and send. That's a dict. Yeah, for sure forgot the comma. Let's just put one more just to make sure. Great. I don't want HTML. Dot models import agent token. String object has no attribute get. Let me see this path. Let me check the code. Okay, so the problem is higher. Great. Objects filter UUID. Let me just check this model. Something is wrong here. I'm not seeing it. So it seems like the complaining is not by getting the data, but returning the data. Let me create a responses object here. Responses. Okay, so I did some fixes here and now it is unauthorized, but this token for sure is on the database because we got from here. So we need to get this. We need to get first. Yeah, okay. It's falling here. Not what I want to. Token equals token dot objects dot all for token in tokens print token dot uuid, just for some measure. Just put whatever stuff here. Tokens. No problem. We found one. And then UUID equals UUID plus ID. I'm just split screen here. It doesn't make sense. Probably because this is not a UUID object. So let's create a UUID object. UUID4. Probably here I can put ID. That just probably this should work. Yeah, but one was given UUID instantiation in Python. Not generating. So I can use this. Hmm. I'll need to figure this out with a little bit more time. I'm thinking that because this UUID was created using the the beaver, probably, just probably, the Django is not getting this data. It should, but let me just verify. Yeah, UUID. This is a character field. No, this is a UID field, probably because of this. So let me come here on server URLs, and I'll get the admin to add here. So let's just Django admin start project anything. Let me add this here. Probably because probably we'll be able to add it from the admin panel. Admin. What just happened here? Okay, so let's go to admin. Let's add a admin here. So I really don't remember how to add admin user on Django. Yeah, create super user. Python create super user. Okay, so hmm, Site administration, authentication and authorization. Here I have users and groups, but I don't want authentication authorization. I want all my other tables. Yeah, ChatGPT just saving us again, so let's import and register and see if it will work. And I'm really just working on this, so let's just go here. Already registered, but not working. Yeah, to be fair, I'll need more time to think on it. So, see you next time, and probably I'll find the solution, just record for y'all.